Hey Agata, thanks for sending your update email and all the videos here as an attachment so I can download them, watch them on my laptop, and do this video review more easily. So we'll go over here. I already downloaded the videos and we'll take a look at them one by one. So we'll start with this one. It's a squat. Let's see if I can turn down the sound real quick since we don't need it. So first thing, you got a good walkout here. You just take a small step here. Set up your left foot right there and set up your right foot. So that's perfect walkout. Do that every time. No issues there. So we'll take a look at the actual squat now. So that was really good right there. The knees tracked back well and you kept your torso in position, so everything was great there. Then as you get a little bit tired, you start tipping over. So you tipped over a little bit on that one. And then this one you tipped over more. And then that one you can really tell it was like a two motions where you tipped over. Same with that one. So one thing you can work on is trying to really control that descent and not rush it and really take your time. So here you controlled your descent going down, kept everything in position, back is straight, and so you were good. But as you're getting tired in the set, you started going down a little bit faster. So that one was good as well. And I think this rep right here, you kind of rushed it and you just went down really fast. So you just want to try and take your time and be consistent with your speed and go a little bit slower. And then so on this one, you already look like you're a little bit rounded before you even start coming up. Same with this one, you already tipped over and you're already round a little bit before you even started going down. So you want to make sure to take your time at the top of each rep. Try and go down a little bit slower. Focus on really keeping the back arched and the chest up and the elbows down. And then try and be consistent from rep to rep. So you don't want to go controlled and good on the first rep, and then by the last rep you're just dropping down really fast like this, tipping over and rounded, and you haven't even gone all the way down to the bottom yet. Alright, because that's going to put you in a bad position. Alright, we'll go to the next video. So this one's your deadlift. This is the lighter deadlifts. And this looks great right here. This is perfect. So right here, bar's about to break the ground. So this is perfect position. We got the hips higher than the knees, shoulders higher than the hips, arm angle back slightly, back is straight, head is neutral, bar path is pretty much vertical. We start here and we end here, so nice and straight. So these lighter deadlifts are perfect. Keep practicing this way. Keep doing everything you're doing here the same, and just keep building up that motor pattern of doing it with a straight back, straight bar path, head neutral, everything. So these are all good. We'll go to your next video then. We got a bench press over here. For your bench, looks like a good arch here. I like the flat shoes. Shoulder blades are squeezed. If it's harder for you to unrack it, you could go a little bit further up the bench here. Just maybe like an inch to be closer to unrack it. But if it feels fine unracking that way, then that's good. Because in this position right here, feet are flat, knees are lower than the hips. So it's going to keep the butt down. We got a nice arch over here. I can see through to the other side. Shoulder blades are squeezed. Bars over the shoulders. Everything is locked out. Good starting position. On this first rep, it looks maybe like you didn't pause long enough. You can kind of see here the plates are still moving, the bar is still moving. It's hard to tell exactly on the chest, but you can still see the bars still moving. But then you kind of got in your groove, and that was a really good pause right there for the second rep. And then good pause right there for the third rep. So just for the first rep, make sure that you're kind of doing the same consistent pause. Everything is tight rather than having the bar move around on the chest and not pausing completely. Everything looks good here, butt stays down. And then, like I said, the second and third rep are better. So that was good. Let's take a look at the next video. We have another squat here. So getting good walkout here on the squat. You took your time, small step, then set up your feet right there. So that was perfect. So that one you tipped over a little bit. And again, you just have to focus a little bit on trying to get that chest up and arching your back. Just like in deadlift, we're trying to really force that arch in your back just because you're used to rounding. So just forcing arch in your back in deadlift, get your back to being straight again. So you kind of have to do the same thing here for your squats. Is even here while you're standing up, you can see how like you're ready to be in a position where you're rounding. Where here, we'll try and force the arch on purpose to kind of get you back into a normal position. So here, as you're going down, you can see you're already rounded over here. You're already starting to round over in your hips or tucking underneath you, and you haven't even gone all the way down yet. So you want to really focus on trying to arch your butt back. Okay? If you feel like you lack flexibility, you can work on just maybe stretching out your hamstrings here in case those are tight, and then stretching out your hip flexors here in case those are tight. So you can try and force this arch to kind of get you back into a neutral position. Where here we're already starting to round. So here we're already rounding and we haven't even gone all the way down yet. And then that's where we don't have tightness. And then you tip over, but you're stable to power through. All right, we'll go to the next video. So good walkout again. So that was a really good rep right there as far as holding the position. And then that one, not so good. And then this one, also not so good. So the first rep was really good, and then it got worse as you got tired and you got fatigue. So let's take a look at the first rep again. That you did really good. So you can see here back is straighter than in the last video, but it's still starting to round a little bit. So here, pretty good position. And then the knees, you can see the knees stay forward, and then they come back a little bit, and then you finish. So that was a really good rep where you're keeping your back straighter on the way down, you're keeping your knees forward out of the hole, and that was a good rep. Then on the second one, you can see you started tipping over more, and then here, knees shoot back a little bit more than the first rep, and then here for the final rep, you're tipping over forward again. And then here the bar really goes forward. That's why it was so hard, is because the bar is all the way out over here over your toes. So right here is way out here in front, and our knees are way back. So this is more like a good morning, like people say, like a good morning squat. And that's why it was really hard to fight through the middle until you can kind of get the bar back up. Okay, we'll go to our next video. We got our deadlift here. So here, good position, and then you just round it a little bit. It's not as, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be for some of the ones where you used to really round. I think part of this is you went back too much. So you can see your arms are almost vertical. And we actually want your shoulder to be here and the arms going back a little bit. So this is like you went back a little bit too much. So the first thing that happens is your body starts shifting forward here. So right now your shoulder's here, and then you shift it forward a little bit here. So let's see if I can kind of get the position. So here, arm is angled slightly back more than here, where your hips are forward, knees are forward, and you're a little bit more arms straight up and down, and here even more. Hips are a little bit lower, arms are straight up and down. So we've got to continue to work on this starting position. This is the difference between this and this. So you can see how the butt's lower there and butt's higher there. And then the shoulders are here, are a little further back. Shoulders here are a little more forward. So you want to get these shoulder blades over the bar arm angled slightly back, and the hips higher. So part of it was just that, was you weren't in the right starting position, and then you rounded a little bit here, but nothing too crazy, and that's why you're able to lock it out. And then let's take a look at the final video. So in this one you can see how the shoulders are more forward and the arm is angled back and the hips are higher. So in that last one, you just sat down too much and had the shoulders too far back, just like you used to do. And so the body kind of tipped over, and as it's tipping over, you round it a little bit. Here, obviously, the weight's lighter too, but you also got in a better position, and so you're able to maintain that position better. So here we got straight back, arms are angled back, head's good, so everything is good on this one. And that one was pretty good too. Okay, so for squat, we want to focus on trying to control the descent, trying to get the back as straight as you can, maybe try and even arch a little bit to fight it, and be consistent with each rep with how fast or slow you're going down. Okay, for bench press, we just want to focus on consistent pause on the chest, making sure we stop the bar completely on the chest. And for deadlift, you just got to keep focusing on that starting position. Don't sit down and back too much. Remember, hips are going to be higher, shoulders are going to be in front of the bar because the shoulder blades are going to be directly above the bar. Okay, and then you have to just be patient with your deadlift. So it's kind of like 3 levels for your deadlift. Is like the first level is you can't get in the starting position, whether it's heavyweight or lightweight. You just don't know how to deadlift. So that was like the first level you're at. So we have to teach you how to deadlift, doing the tempos and the pauses and the blocks. Then you graduated from level 1, and now you're in level 2. And level 2 is you can do the deadlift correctly with light weights, but when it gets to heavy weights, then you can't do the deadlift correctly because you don't have the strength yet, and then you're trying to revert back to your old ways of deadlifting. So you can do it with the light weights because it's not as fatiguing, it's not as close to your max, but you can't do it with the heavy weights yet because it's getting close to your old max. So that's where you are now. So we'll have to keep working on that. We'll see how long that takes, and then eventually you'll graduate from that and go to level 3. And level 3 is regardless of what the weight is, regardless of how close to your max is, you're always going to do your deadlift with the proper technique. So the timeline from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 just depends on how fast you can learn your technique and how fast your body gets strong in those muscles that it needs to strengthen. So for me, I would say it took me about 2 years to get to that point where now, no matter what weight I'm doing, my back is always straight. For you, it might be faster, like you went from level 1 to level 2 in 4 weeks or less. Like we went from a couple mats down to 1 mat down to the ground, and you learned that pretty fast. So we'll see how long this next jump takes. It might take this year, it might take into next year. We'll see. So what I'm going to do for your programming, which I should have up here, you can see this is what it looks like on my side, your calendar. So you've done all these. So what I'm going to do is change some of these numbers. One of the things I want to do is lighten up this squat here. And the reason being is I don't want you to waste all your energy and tire out your legs doing the squats. And then when you go to the deadlifts, then your deadlift form goes bad because your legs are already tired and overall you're tired. You've done so many sets, and then you start rounding and everything like that. So I want to make these a little bit easier, focus on our technique, and save your energy for this heavier deadlift and see if that looks better that way. So I'll do that for that week and probably for this week, and I'll take a look at the rest of these, make the adjustment, and then you'll be ready to go. All right, hope that helps.